The U.S. could soon be dropping its guidelines when it comes to drinking alcohol. That's according to a new report. Right now, the current guidance recommends Americans consume no more than 1 or 2 drinks per day. However, sources say updated guidelines could be released with a more general message encouraging moderation. It is a stark turn from 6 months ago when the former U.S. Surgeon General Marni called for adding warning labels to alcohol, highlighting the associated cancer risks. It came after the release of a new report suggesting that most Americans are not aware of those risks. Joining us now, Dr. Gandhi, professor of medicine and associate division chief of the Division of HIV, Infectious Diseases, and Global Medicine at UCSF. Welcome to you. Nice to see you. What do you think prompted medically a change in these guidelines?
You know, the guidelines in the United States do set a trend kind of all over the world, and the guidelines all over the world are all over the place. But in general, they do use the word moderate risk. And actually, prior to Marni, who was the prior Surgeon General, changing to specifically 1 to 2 drinks a day, the word had always been moderate risk. And this leaves, of course, room for interpretation. But the studies that say 1 to 2 drinks a day are large observational studies that don't always control for everything that could be happening. So I have to say the word moderate probably is reasonable. It's just that we need to remember that women can drink less than men, and that's an important caveat. But I think this just leaves it more wide open as opposed to being as prescriptive.
Right. Moderate is left open to interpretation. Do the guidelines, though, Dr. Gandhi, change habits as you talk to people about alcohol consumption? Do they put a lot of weight in that?
You know, it's a really good question. They don't. You know, what changes habits is, for example, when we needed people to stop smoking, which is really associated with terrible kind of health outcomes, there was things like jacking up prices on cigarettes, making it more difficult to get. Things like just putting in the guidelines general statements like use moderate risk is probably going to change exactly no one's habits between before and now.
You know, when you talk about cigarettes, you think lung cancer, right? There's a direct correlation. But what do you think is most misunderstood about the risks of alcohol when it comes to our overall health?
So, you know, alcohol is associated with so many things, including anxiety and depression, and clearly driving that's unsafe, and so many different conditions, but they're often confounded. So the question is, are they associated with cancer? Is alcohol associated with cancer? And some big studies say yes and don't always control for things, and some say no. And I think that's again why I'd probably go back to, for example, the NIH guidelines, which are really just moderate risk. They do not say stop alcohol altogether because there's so many confounding reasons. There's some health benefits in some studies to red wine, for example, on cardiovascular stroke. It's very hard. These studies are hard because sometimes people don't exactly report what they're doing, which is understandable. And second is that you're not controlling for everything else in the environment that could cause that condition.
And alcohol is unique, right? When it comes to substances, I mean, people's mindset around it is much different than if you were talking about other drugs or abuse of other substances.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously except during Prohibition. You know, alcohol is the very easily obtained substance. I will say there was an increase in alcohol use during the pandemic that really got into dangerous territories, and restricting it by age and keeping it to moderate risk is moderate consumption is really the right approach. I think it is absolutely alters people and has led to many difficulties. So I would say it this way, that it's not restricted in the same way that cigarettes are in this country. It's actually easier to get alcohol than cigarettes. We have to be strict about age limits, and I really, as a doctor, would advise people for, when I say moderate risk, no more than 2 drinks a day for women, which is what the NIH guidelines say, and certainly no more than 3 for men.
All right. Dr. Gandhi, thank you as always.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.